At this time, please find a place to sit. Thank you, and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Morgan.
I invite you to pray with me. Almighty God, on this momentous morning, when these young men and women finally reach their goal of graduating from BMT, we first thank you for all the support that has helped them achieve this moment. From the MTIs that have led and mentored them, to all the support staff working behind the scenes, and the loved ones cheering them on from a distance. And as these airmen prepare to transition to the next stage of their careers, we pray for continued blessings on them. May you bless and keep them as you turn your face towards them, being gracious to them and giving them peace. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Please be seated. Good morning, and welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Ceremony. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host and the reviewing official for today's ceremony. The Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training, Colonel Billy Wilson Jr., accompanied by his wife, Liza. The guest speaker, the Senior Enlisted Advisor to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, SEAC Ramon CZ Colin Lopez. From the graduating squadron, the Commander, 331st Training Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Joshua Hardin, accompanied by his wife, Jennifer. The Senior Enlisted Leader, 331st Training Squadron, Chief Master Sergeant Damarcus Forney, accompanied by his fiancée, Danielle Mabry. Also in attendance with us today, Major General John Meyer, Commanding General, 1st Infantry Division, and Fort Riley, Kansas. Major General Lonnie Hibbard, United States Army retired, accompanied by his wife, Gail. Brigadier General John Lascotti, United States Army retired, accompanied by his wife, Ursula. The Commander, 37 Training Wing, Colonel Lauren Corshane. The Command Chief, 37 Training Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Carlos Damian, accompanied by his wife, Shauna. The Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance MAGCOM Functional Manager, Air Combat Command, Chief Master Sergeant Tyler Smith, accompanied by his wife, Samantha. Additionally, we are also honored to have with us representatives from each military service who are in attendance for the 2023 Drill Instructors Summit. Finally, we welcome the former military training instructors in attendance today for annual MTI Association events. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737 Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Our Commander of Airmen is Technical Sergeant Corley Ryle. Colonel Wilson will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated.
Sir, the parade is formed. Take your pose. accounted for, ma'am! Section 3, all present or accounted for, ma'am!
Section 4, all present or accounted for, ma'am!
Sir, all present or accounted for!
Publish the order.
Attention to orders! Details on today! Non-commissioned officer of the day! Technical Sergeant Emil! By orders of Lieutenant Colonel Hardin! Officers!
Over the last 7.5 weeks, the men and women before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warriors with a foundation to serve in the most powerful military the world has ever known. Once they leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of 118 specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of 84 installations around the globe or work directly with our sister services. As they move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting the military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the armed forces. These men and women were prepared for increased responsibilities and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate in an expeditionary environment. These graduates are the future of our national defense and will pave the way for the generations that will follow. .737 Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellence. The Commander's Excellence streamer is awarded to Flight 587 for their significant accomplishments demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 28 August 2023 to 12 October 2023. Signed, Billy Wilson Jr., Colonel, United States Air Force. The Commander's Excellence Flight was led by Master Sergeant Hopper and Technical Sergeant Albino. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the United States military. The graduates before you have reached a milestone in their military journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors.
Present the command.
March to command and review.
Staff order. Heart. Staff. Change post. Heart. Order.
Order!
Heart.
Alert! Ready! Act!
Pass. In. Review. Column of flights. Right. Side. Column right. Heart.
The graduates passing in review today represent a portion of the 35,000 men and women who will complete basic military training this year. The 737 Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the world's greatest Air Force. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the Airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Armed Forces. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass and review, they will march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. The men and women recognized on the pavers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States military in armed conflict. Their decorations include 9 Medals of Honor, 23 Air Force Crosses, and 162 Silver Stars, awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all service members to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. We would like to direct your attention to our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass in review. Today's graduation ceremony is led by 3 distinguished military training instructors. The Commander of Airmen is Technical Sergeant Corley Ryle, the 2023 Master Military Training Instructor Blue Rope of the Year. The Material Officer is Technical Sergeant Addie Emile, the 2023 Military Training Instructor Trainer of the Year. And the Adjutant is Technical Sergeant Haley Mascule, the 2023 Military Training Instructor Rookie of the Year. Each underwent a rigorous series of assessments to earn these prestigious awards. Collectively, they represent the evolution of a military training instructor in basic military training. Now passing in review, the Commander of Airmen, Technical Sergeant Corley Ryle, Master Military Training Instructor, hometown, Raymore, Missouri. The Drum and Bugle Corps, Flight 590 and 591, led by Technical Sergeant Mike Salazar, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Lodi, California. Flight 577, led by Technical Sergeant Ashley Anderson, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Houston, Texas. PT Excellence Flight, Flight 578, led by Technical Sergeant Nadia Cruz, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Victoria, Texas. Flight 579, led by Technical Sergeant Preston Reese, military training instructor, hometown Obetz, Ohio. Flight 580, led by Technical Sergeant Rafael Guzman Panigua, military training instructor, hometown Orosi, California. Flight 581, led by Technical Sergeant Jaron Alba, military training instructor, hometown San Angelo, Texas. Flight 582, led by Technical Sergeant Marissa Grantham, military training instructor, hometown Prince Frederick, Maryland. The Color Guard, led by Technical Sergeant Miguel Molina, military training instructor, hometown Laverne, California. Flight 586 and Commander's Excellence Flight. Flight 587, led by Master Sergeant Cody Hopper, military training instructor trainer, hometown Rancho Cordova, California.
And
Flight 583, led by Master Sergeant Clarissa Hart, military training instructor, hometown Birmingham, Alabama. Flight 584, led by Technical Sergeant Robert Tompkins, military training instructor, hometown Kochina, Okinawa, Japan. Flight 585, led by Staff Sergeant Rainier Quaid, military training instructor, hometown Fairmont, Minnesota. Academic Excellence Flight, Flight 588, led by Staff Sergeant Juan Roberts, drill instructor, hometown Indianapolis, Indiana. Flight 589, led by Staff Sergeant Megan Michelle, drill instructor, hometown Brooklyn, New York. Traditionally, the armed forces are expected to exemplify respect for the nation. Special ceremonies have been established to bestow honor upon the flags and other national symbols, upon recipients of awards and decorations, and upon national dignitaries. Such ceremonies are usually included in parades, reviews, and similar formations in which large groups of military personnel participate. On special occasions in basic military training, the military training instructors assemble in mass formation as a sign of recognition and respect. Once each year, MTIs from all generations reunite at Lackland to celebrate the camaraderie of the military's training instructor corps and to honor the traditions and legacy of the MTIs from previous generations. Today's MTI Mass is comprised of military training instructors who have served in basic military training at various times over the past 5 decades. Receiving the MTI Mass honors is retired Chief Master Sergeant Erlith Nick Seal, United States Air Force retired, who first served as an MTI in 1955. Ladies and gentlemen, now approaching the reviewing stand is the backbone of the basic military training mission, the military training instructors. These men and women are being led by Master Sergeant Robert Davis, Master Military Training Instructor, 331st Training Squadron. He is the 2023 BMT Military Training Instructor of the Year, and his hometown is Woodlands, Texas. Chief Master Sergeant Seal, as our most tenured military training instructor in attendance today, you represent all MTIs, past, present, and future, in recognition of your contributions to basic military training and the sacrifices made by all military training instructors over the past 76 years. We honor your legacy and the legacy of all MTIs who have served in BMT. Thank you for your outstanding leadership and continued involvement with the Military Training Instructor Association. It is an honor to serve with you. Those who have served, the Drum and Bugle Corps will conclude today's review with a performance of the Armed Forces Medley. We ask all service members and veterans to stand and sing your respective service songs as we recognize your service and your family's service to our country. States Army. United States Marine Corps. The United States Navy. The United States Space Force. The United States Coast Guard. And your United States Air Force. Thank you. You may be seated. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by the graduates from Flight 590 and 591, performing under the direction of Technical Sergeant Matthew Zedemoyer, military training instructor, hometown Augusta, Georgia. These individuals have been hand-selected to perform for today's ceremony. In addition to completing all basic training syllabus and training requirements, Drum and Bugle Corps members commit additional training hours for practice throughout their weeks of training. Their extra effort and commitment demonstrate teamwork and the Air Force's core value, service before self. With each Drum and Bugle Corps performance, they honor the long-standing tradition of live music at formal military ceremonies. We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our honor graduates, as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all graduates in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence they displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. As the flights march forward for the oath of enlistment, we would like to thank all of the families and friends who are here in support of those graduating today for your support to our mission and the greatest air power the world has ever known. Your words of encouragement has helped motivate these graduates through 7.5 weeks of basic military training. Ladies and gentlemen, SEAC Colin Lopez will now come forward and address our graduating class.
What a beautiful morning here at Lackland Air Force Base, don't you agree? Before we do any speaking, I want you to pay close attention to the beautiful banner behind me. We call it the Star Spangled Banner, Stars and Stripes, the red, white, and blue. And that is really the company logo of the great institution that your sons and daughters are joining today. So how about we give that banner a round of applause? I would like to begin by thanking our gracious host, the 37 Training Group, Colonel Wilson, Sir, Chief Anderson, 37 Training Wing, and all of the distinguished guests that are here with us today, including MTIs, past and present. How about we give them a round of applause? And next, I would like to thank all of the families and friends that are here supporting your recruits today as they embark on a lifetime journey of being an airman and a servant of our nation. It is not lost on any single one of us that you're willing to give us your highest treasure in life, trusting us that we're going to do right by them. And if this particular display here, while brief, of drill and ceremony and the discipline that they have gotten over the past few weeks is just a beginning of what they're about to learn for life. So we are in debt to you, and the one promise that we'll make you is that we will take care of them, we will train them, because they're here to protect our way of life. So thank you, and I love you from the bottom of my heart. And next, this doesn't happen by accident. You see all of these guys out here that have a funnier hat than I do. And every single one of them go through a rigorous pipeline, a training, to make sure that they break civilians out of habits, that they instill loyalty, discipline, and courage into every recruit that comes through these gates, and that they serve as a living example of what is expected of every single one of these recruits. And I'm talking about our military training instructors. I came through the same ground 33 years ago, and there's one person that made a difference in my life. And that person is here with us today, my very own military training instructor, then Staff Sergeant Timothy Hank Herrick. Hank, where are you? Please stand and be recognized. And I only mention Hank and his beautiful bride because that is the commitment and the relationships that we forge in this great institution called the Department of Defense, specifically in this very moment, the United States Air Force. They are part of a tribe. They're part of something greater than society because they're the ones that are willing to risk it all for every single one of us. So to our military training instructors, thank you for your loyalty, your discipline, but most importantly, for being a visible example for all of us to follow. Let's give them a round of applause. And now to address our replacements. As I look in this crowd, I see the future of the defense of this nation. And that future, it is a promise that you're about to make in a few moments as you recite your oath of enlistment. If I was a dog, that would have been the time that the collar would shock me. As you recite that oath, I want you to put the same level of effort that you put into memorizing that Air Force song. The same level of effort that you ended up putting into memorizing that Airman's Creed. Because that is the most important promise that you will ever make in your life. You will start by stating your name. And then you're going to solemnly swear that you support a document, the Constitution of the United States. Not a political party, not a person, but a document and an idea that ended up creating this country hundreds of years ago. Then you're going to affirm that you're going to go ahead and obey the orders of those appointed over you. And it's going to be clearly defined what you're deciding to do. You're going to tell the American public that you're willing to give your life in the defense of them. And lastly, you're going to be remembered every day you wake up and every time you place your head on your pillow on your rack by the raising and the lowering of that banner out there behind you. That is why we exist. And regardless of what duty you get, for those on the stands, what job, AFSC, Air Force Specialty Code, it doesn't matter because your primary purpose and the sole reason for your existence from now until the end of your enlistment is one thing: war fighting. And right now there's plenty of enemies that are waiting for the opportunity to take a shot at us. But I tell you, I look into this crowd and I will give any single one of those enemies 671 reasons why they shouldn't cross the line. And as you move on to technical training, as you move on to your first base, and as you move on with this career of service, I highly encourage you to maintain the discipline, the loyalty, and the attention to detail that you have learned over the past few weeks. When you lose that is when you cease to be one of us. And when you cease to be one of us, it opens up opportunities for our adversaries. But I'm full of confidence as I conclude 33 years of service in about 3 weeks that the Department of Defense is in good hands. It is in good hands because your families decided to entrust us with you. And it is important because every single one of you volunteered to do this. No other country does what we do. They envy you, they wish they had you, and they fear to face you. So, there's only one thing left to ask you. Are you ready to join the most lethal, most respected, and greatest armed forces, specifically the United States Air Force in the world? And this is how I retire, knowing that they're behind us, getting ready to pack the mail. Thank you.
Please stand as Colonel Wilson will now administer the oath of enlistment. Instructor, place your flights at attention.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And that I will obey the orders of the President. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations in the Uniform Code of Military Justice. According to regulations in the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. So help me God. Welcome to the family. Congratulations.
Thank you, SEAC Colon Lopez and Colonel Wilson. Please remain standing while our graduates recite the Airman's Creed and for the departure of the official party. I am an American Airman.
I am a warrior. I have answered my nation's call. I am an American Airman. My mission is to fly, fight, and win. I am faithful to a proud heritage, a tradition of honor, and a legacy of valor. I am an American Airman, guardian of freedom and justice. My nation's sword and shield, its century and avenger. I defend my country with my life. I am an American Airman.
the U.S. flags pass. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all of our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass. As a reminder, the flights are positioned as viewed from the bleachers to the left of the reviewing stand. Flights 577, 578, 579, 580, 581, 582. And to the right of the reviewing stand, flights 583, 584, 585, 588, 589. Please remain in your seating area. The graduates will be dismissed momentarily. Town pass ends at 1800 hours. When dropping off members, please stay in your vehicles. Family members are not authorized to enter any training area.